child protective services, and they won't give them back to their loving families because they're making money.
This is a legal system that you're going into. And if you don't know the rules, you will be chewed up and spit out.
If I could say anything to a mother who just got their children detained, you're in a crisis. Yeah. Life feels like it's over. The most important thing is regaining custody of your children.
The child welfare system at its core is designed to protect children who need protection, okay? And that's key, is who need protection.
So social workers, out of fear, will remove more children rather than only remove those children that truly need to be removed.
It's okay. It's okay.
This isn't someone stole your car. Someone broke into your house. This is someone took your child, your flesh and blood.
It doesn't say on this order that it was not proven. It says untrue. True. I immediately knew that, okay, well, this ain't over.
Were there signs there? Were there no signs? Did I miss them? Did I catch them? At this point, I honestly don't know.
Families only get a finite amount of time to reunify.
I came into this field to help families, not destroy them.
The difference between the criminal system and the child welfare system is substantial. You have more rights as a criminal than you do as a parent.
Hello, everyone. My name is Georgette Truan. I am the co-host for Fight CPS Real Talk with Miss G, and I also work for the law office of Vincent Davis. I have a guest with us. His name is Justice, and also my co-host Darren and Cassandra with us today. And I just wanted to bring something to your attention, you guys. I just bought this from Amazon. It's Mr. Davis's book, actually. It's called The Secret: How to Fight Child Protective Services and When. And the reason I got the hard copy is because I was tired of losing my printout. I would print out the pages, and I just like it like that better. So it's smaller. But a lot of people call me and ask me about the pre-release investigation part, the PRI, or the jurisdictional hearing, and the 6-month review hearing. All this is in the book. Everything that you guys face during CPS investigation or hearings, it tells you step by step what to expect and what to do. Mr. Davis literally broke it down to you guys, what you need to do, which is really, really good. And he even gives you hints. He gives you hints, like right here. He gives you hints on what to expect and all that. So it's very educational. I got it from Amazon for like $9 or something like that. So it's not expensive at all. And I think he has this other one, which is the same thing, but this one is more affordable, which is, I think, $5.49. And he makes it, easy access for you guys. You could easily put this in your purse and take with you if you have a meeting or what have you with the social worker or whatever you guys do with your court-appointed attorneys, who I call them court pretenders. For some of you that haven't watched this show before, I just want to read something out to you guys. So in California, which is the California legislative, which is the Child Welfare Service Investigation section, which is AB 336, it says, a parent or a legal guardian may make a video or audio recording of his or her interview or interactions with a county child protective services social worker who investigates allegation of parental abuse or neglect. A county child protective services social worker participation in investigation of parental abuse or neglect shall be deemed consent to video and audio recording. The day their asses became social workers, they consented to be recorded. Okay, so when they tell you they don't want to be recorded, it's because they don't want to be caught. So demons don't want to be caught. Remember that, okay?
Okay.
The legislator finds and declares that nothing in existing law prevent the parent or a legal guardian from making a video or audio recording of his or her interview or interactions with a county child protective services social worker. Keep that in mind, please. Also, a lot of you guys need to understand that the state agency that steals your children, who are the social workers, the governor, just remember this, the governor picks the commissioner. The governor oversees the person stealing your children, which is the social workers. Your state assembly makes the laws. So what I suggest to all of you guys is that you need to know who your state representatives and state senators are. You need to go down and speak with them. Let yourself be known to them, and it will take a massive people actually to be heard. So all of you guys who are watching my show, you guys need to do this. You need to be heard. All of you guys need to come together and make sure you meet these people. Okay? You got to meet them. You got to be heard. If you have to take big signs, if you have to write whatever you want on the signs, whatever, do whatever it takes. If you guys in California, if you guys want me to be involved, I'll be happy to be involved with you guys. But I do work and I do need some group of people, mothers. I don't know if Cassandra can make this happen, Cassandra. Maybe talk to a lot of people and see if they can all get together and we can do this.
Yeah, I
can be the voice. That's fine. I will be the voice.
Yeah, like if I have people like
Uh-oh. There goes she. Where is she? Cassandra? There you go. You said you had people.
No.
Oh my God.
Musical squares.
Why do I keep on going off? Okay. I was saying if I have people email me who wants to be participated in it, maybe I'll give them my email. But that's like the only way I could really get a hold of anybody who wants to do it, like from the show or whatever that's in California.
Yeah,
I feel like
why don't you maybe when you have time, I know you work, but maybe when you have time, talk to everybody that's on the shows, maybe that write comments, get a hold of them somehow.
Yeah, like that's why I'm saying like how I would get a hold of them. Maybe they can email me or something. I have a separate email account for just that.
I can make that happen.
Because I have an email for it.
Darren, what were you gonna say, honey?
On May 24th, there's a rally in Washington, D.C. for a parents' rights rally. It's on May 24th, and I guess it's coinciding with the 1 million kid march, I believe, is that same day. But right there at the Washington Memorial, I'll send you the information on this stuff. But they're having a parents' rights, parental rights, get together. There'll be a lot of speakers. I'll actually be there. I got to run the security team for there.
Right.
So that'll be fun and doing that. But that's a good spot because you're right, Georgia. The biggest thing is getting the glue because there's too many little tiny groups of everybody around and there's not one big, conglomeration that can swoop in. You got your good following and these people, everybody needs the glue to put this thing together and make this thing bigger than life so we can make a difference.
Exactly. We need massive people. People. Okay, not one or two. We're not going to be heard with one or two. A lot of you guys are afraid to stand up, but fear is not from God, period. Fear is from the devil. The devil wants you to be held back. He wants to push you back and stay there in the corner and not wake up. And I keep telling you guys, do not depend on alcohol. Do not depend on drugs. This is just a temporary numbness from your pain. It's not what you need to be focused on at the moment. The devil the devil attacks the mind first. The mind comes first.
Yeah,
so
he shoots.
Don't fall in that. And I've actually, Justice, he's going to share a story with us That's a true story. That when he told me this today, well, I'll let you say it. I mean, you and I we spoke about this today, Justice, and I think you said what God was speaking through me. Is that what you said?
That's exactly what I said. And let me go back just real quick on what you were saying. That it is true, Satan, he's got arrows, he's got flaming arrows, and he just shoots them at you, and he puts a lot of things in your head, and he confuses you, he manipulates you, he lies to you. He's a destroyer, is what he is.
Yeah.
So he's trying to separate you from the truth,
Exactly. And that's what his mission is, to divide and conquer. If he cannot divide us, he can't win. And remember, I told you guys before, demons need a body to nest in it. Demons cannot just roam, you know what I mean, without a body to nest in it. That's why they nest in bodies that are not clean, bodies who are, I'm sure you guys heard in the Bible, when you guys read the Bible, you hear what Jesus has done, right? Taking out bad spirits, taking out the demons. So you have to understand that's how a demon can roam the earth, is in a body. So these demonic entities that we call the government, they're all ran by demons. And I'm not making this shit up.
No,
You
you're
cannot
not.
be a holy person. You cannot be human when you destroy families. You can't. When they leave children in abusive homes but target good mothers and good fathers, there's no way that God can be in this. It's impossible. But oftentimes when we go through this trials and tribulation, we blame God. God didn't bring us here. God didn't bring us here. God gave us the decision and the choice to make. He's not going to run after us. He tells us to ask, and we shall receive. Seek, and you will find. There's a reason for that. God wants you to go to him willingly, not forcefully. Because if you go to him forcefully, it's not love.
Absolutely.
It's not love. All God wants is trueness, your trueness of love. That's all God asked for. And, a lot of people that I speak with, some of you guys understand, most of you guys might question me and the part that God is not behind this. And I'm going to tell you over and over again, God is not evil. God cannot be in an unholy place. God can only exist in the holy place. So a lot of people say, well, this client today asked me, she actually was being sarcastic. He said, well, does God go to clubs? No, he doesn't.
Oh, God.
No, he doesn't go to clubs. This is not the kind of God that I worship.
That's right.
Okay. So that's like an insult right there.
Sure is.
So it's either you believe in God or you don't. The messages that we're trying to relate today is for people who are dealing with the demonic entities, people who are dealing with a demonic system. None of the parents that are struggling, none of them are bad parents. I'm telling you that right now. No. I've known Darren for I've known you. I found out, Darren, I've known you and your wife for 2 years.
Yeah.
Years. I've known you guys for 2 years. You guys and I used to talk like all hours of the night.
Yes, yes, we did.
Driving your truck, all hours of the night. And Cassandra, I have known her for how long, Cassandra? Not long, less than a year. I can't hear you.
I think 4 or 5 months, maybe.
Yeah, 5 months. And I just met Justice today. So there's a lot of you guys who are innocent. And all you mothers and fathers in America who actually judge parents who lose their children and assume that they're bad parents, well, guess what? Karma is a bitch. And one day you're going to experience that with your own grandkids. And one day you're going to remember when you judge other people. Because what CPS does is they lie on their reports. They say the parent is alcoholic. The parent is drug user. The parent is this. The parent. I mean, they even go to the extreme where they'd say the parent was in jail and the parent was never in jail. Okay,
well, they put you in jail.
The judges, right? No. Actually, no. We have a case where the parent was never in jail, but in the report they wrote that the parent was in jail.
Right.
I had a foster mother who called me today, She said to me, she's crying because her baby is gone. And I said, and she said the social worker retaliated against her because they found out she's cheating on her husband, right? So then the guy that she was cheating with, he's a criminal of some kind, like a domestic violence, whatever. So they took the baby from her and told the husband to divorce her so he can get the baby. Now, I told the foster mom this. I said, you're crying over the child. I said, imagine the mother. She said, well, the mother was, you know, the social worker said there are drugs and blah, blah, blah involved. I said, how do you know that this is the truth? You're only hearing it from one side. I said, the same way they did you, the same way they're doing parents. And she said, well, I believe that now. Even foster parents believe what the social workers say about the parent, and they judge parents.
Yeah, it's terrible too.
It is. And they treat parents like they're crazy.
Shit, like nothing. You are the demon himself.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also another thing, I'm going to have Justice speak, you guys, and Darren also, and Cassandra. But I just want to let you guys know this. When you guys say your case is closed from juvenile, do not wait too long to take it back into family law, ever. You have to go within less than a year to family law and reopen the case and reunification with your children, right? Now, if the other party has you monitored, meaning, say if it's your ex-husband, right? He's a demonic piece of shit. He has you monitored. So he pays for a monitor to monitor you. Be very careful with that, because he will choose a monitor that is very well known to his family or him. That monitor will take one side, only his side.
That's right.
And that monitor would write lies about you that never happened, and uses your case against you. Meaning they will write down things that you're doing currently that you're not doing, that will make it reflect on the case that you had with CPS to begin with. The father who is paying for monitoring, he has money. So you need to be very careful. You need to take it to court, family law court, and request for the judge to choose the monitor. Immediately, you have to request for the judge to choose the monitor. Do not allow the narcissist to have control over who the monitor should be. Okay? Be very careful with that. I'm telling you this as advice. Take it or leave it. Okay? Also, I want to mention this. 1,122 children who had contact with Illinois' DCFS from 2010 to March 2021 have died in their custody. And the numbers keep increasing. In Nevada, it states here Las Vegas, Nevada, Texas, Illinois, Wisconsin, Chicago, Florida, and the numbers keeps going up. More than 1,100 children who had contact with Illinois' DCFS from 2010 to March 2021 have died. That's what the lawmakers are saying.
Wow.
So it went from 1,100 to 1,122 within hours of this report that was made. Okay? So
let me say something real quick if I could.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pretty much, I believe that we're living at the end of times. These demonic forces are out. They're out, and there's a lot of them. And the attacks are going to become more frequent. As you can tell, they're stronger. They're strong now, but imagine within time, short period of time, how much more bad it's going to get. For y'all that are fighting to get your kids back, for God's sakes, fight, because at the end, all you have is yourself, your family, and God to guide you. Nobody else. Don't trust your family. Don't trust those other outside family members, people that you call friends. Be careful what you share, what you say, what you do, because they could be used against you. It's it's tough, man, but we got to do it. You know, it's our kids. You know, we got to fight for them.
Yeah. And also there's a lot of families, you guys, members, and even though I have my show tonight, Relatives Fight CPS, which sometimes I it just makes me sad to do that show because
Yeah.
I get calls from relatives who actually go against their daughters because they don't like their husband, or they
Yeah.
go against the wife because or the mother-in-law goes against the wife because she doesn't like the wife. You have to be very careful with that.
Yeah.
Very careful, because when God reunited the marriage together, right? He united you guys together, you became one. Your family no longer matters, meaning your mom, your dad, you respect them, you love them, but they cannot come between you. Remember that. They cannot come between you. And if they do come between you, that's not from God either. Because what God puts together, let no one hinder that. And if they try to hinder it, that's not from God.
Amen.
That's very important for you guys to understand. But and then friends, if you have friends, your wife has friends, some of the friends will be jealous enough to come between you and your wife.
Oh, yes.
And they will report you or report her because of the jealousy they have. They're jealous of your relationship. Like when Darren and me and Darren and his wife used to talk all hours of the night for hours and hours.
Yeah.
I love their relationship. I mean, they kid together, they laugh together, they argue together, but their arguing is not even about violence. It's more like they disagree with certain things, but they laugh about it.
Yeah.
They have an amazing relationship, and I love that about them. But you can't allow friends to come between you. If you have to be without a friend, that's fine. I mean, I would rather
be without 1,000 friends.
Right.
You're damn right.
Right. I would rather you guys not have friends than have friends that come after you or try to destroy you.
Right, because you only got one of those soulmates, and if you got that, then you don't give that up for nobody.
Exactly. That's very important for you guys to understand. Whatever we do in our lives, we reap the consequences. If God sends you somebody saying, don't marry this person, don't marry this person. Seriously, don't marry this person. You have to understand that we make choices in life. And if those choices in life that we make came back to bite us, it's because we made those choices. We were not forced to make them. We made them all ourselves. That has nothing to do with God, because God does warn us. God sends us people to speak to us. God sends us people to send us messages. If you can't distinguish between, or you can't distinguish between evil and good, then there's something wrong with you. There's something definitely wrong with you. So you guys all need to humble yourself, get down on your knees and pray to God. I am serious about this. Imagine if the whole nation prayed together. Imagine how great that will be.
That would be a big revival.
There you go. And people don't understand that. Let your voices be heard. God even told us the truth sets us free. You cannot. Oh, and also let your yes be yes and your no be no. Don't sit there and explain shit to the social workers. Don't just sit there and say, I'm innocent. Well, last year I did this. Or the year before I did this. When I was 16, I was in jail for theft. Blah, blah, blah. But that was when I was young.
Right.
All this shit is irrelevant. You're opening the door to the devil to walk in your home. And you're literally you're gashing out everything to the devil. You can't do that. You can't fucking do that. You have to stop. Stop talking.
That's it. Don't tell them more than that they should know, And if you're not sure about saying something, hey, you know what? I don't want to answer your questions anymore, or I need to speak to an attorney, whatever it is, Just don't be answering more questions than you should, Don't volunteer more information.
That's right. Don't give them the bullets to shoot yourself.
There you go.
That's the biggest thing, is everybody thinks that these freaks are your friends. They get them, they're like, oh, it's okay, and this, and they come over and they bring a little present for the baby, and next thing you know, they're like, you don't with Darren, he's mean, isn't he? Well, he yells sometimes, and boom, next thing you know, you are a physical abuser and all of these type of things, and they're driving a wedge right in your relationship. And that's the first place that these people go, is they try to divide you, because with strength you have power. When you're separated, you have none. You know, and that's the thing. They're putting that division in the family, and you don't even, if you're not strong enough and you're not aware of what's going on and you're educated in this, you don't see it. You know, you just see them, they're coming in and they're playing these mind games, and they, you know, by the end of a night, you could, you know, you, like Georgette says, you'd be fighting with each other. And it's, you know, you were best friends with your mate earlier in that day, but the worker came and, you know, she said, you know, she says that you're abusive because you yelled at me and this, and then next thing you know, it's over. You know, they've got you in, you know, abuse classes. You can't be with your wife any longer. They're telling you that if you want your kid back, to get divorced, which is against the law, but that's what they do. And that's a fact. And we know this for sure, right, Georgia? We see this happen.
Every day.
And that's
every
wrong.
day. The devil divides. Remember that. The devil has to steal your children, right? So it makes you weaker, because a family united together, they're stronger. Separated, they're weaker. You have to keep that in mind. The devil comes after division. God doesn't divide. God unites. There's a huge difference here. So, as I mentioned, you guys really need to be heard. This has to be, we need a mass group of people. And Darren, I'm sure you can make that happen in your state as well. And you too, Justice, make that happen in your state as well. Okay?
Okay.
I mean, we all need to be heard. We have to get
Where,
together.
where are you from, Justice?
Currently, I'm originally from California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in Maine, so I'm on the other side of the world.
I'm in Texas, Houston.
Oh, everything's better in Texas.
Not really.
It rains here too much and too many mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Giant mosquitoes, right? Aren't they huge?
They're pretty small, man, but you know they actually come after you. Actually, they do. Yeah.
I'm in
So
California.
I've learned to wear white. If I wear red or black, for some reason it attracts them. So I got to wear white.
No kidding.
When I go outside.
Yeah. I don't like Texas. I used to like Texas.
I've always wanted to go. I always told my wife, I said, look, we're going to go to Texas. We're going to have a bunch of boys and we're going to have a football team. You know, and that's that. I mean, that's what isn't it God? Isn't it God, country, and football? Isn't that what Texas is about? High school football?
Yeah. Don't mess with Texas.
Yeah.
Also, guys, I want to bring up something real quick, and to let you know that Momentum Funding, there's if you have a lawsuit against the Department of Child Services, and what you can do is you can call the number 866-534-4602. They are based in New York. However, they do fund certain states.
Now, what do they fund, George?
The Department of Child Protective Piece of Shit Services. You can call Momentum Funding and see what they can do to help you out with funding the legal fees for the lawsuits. Okay?
Nice.
But let them know of your state, so that way, I do know for sure they do California 100%. I do know they do New York and New Jersey, Chicago, but other states they don't do for some reason. I don't know. But there's other states I don't remember. I know Nevada is one of them. They don't do. Las Vegas, Nevada, they don't do that.
Make sure that you tell them that you sent them too, right? Everybody that calls them, let them know that Mrs. G sent them, right?
Well, Miss G, I'm happily.
Miss G, yes. MS.G.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, you can just tell them Georgette from the law office of Vincent Davis referred you guys. That's fine. But make sure you call them. The number again is 866-534-4602. Let me see if I can put it on here.
Yeah, I also just recently found out that there's 13 states that have a higher rate of taking children from their average is higher than the national average.
Which one is that?
There's for sure there's New Hampshire, Massachusetts or two of them that they give right here in this article, because it's talking about how much like they tear apart families. Like the national average in 2020 was 19.1, and Massachusetts and New Hampshire have 31.5 and 39.8 by themselves.
Wow. When I tell you guys this is the new world order, it's the truth. The new world order is stealing your children from you.
Mm-hmm.
They attack children.
Mm-hmm.
Children.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I told you, one of my good friends never had children. I've known her since middle school. I was one of the women that was like, I want to get married. I want to have a house and the kids and a husband to cook for and talk to and blah, blah. I was all fucking Cinderella shit. But it's just it's not real. You know, it's not real. This is all, you can't do that. This, oh my God, America, the culture in America, there is no family life. Everyone is divided.
Yeah, it's for everybody better.
Yeah, they're trying to separate all of us.
Else, right?
Yeah, it's
like this. What this whole article is about. It's about the rush to tear apart families, and it's mostly because of this girl named Harmony Montgomery, who got taken from her mother for substance abuse and got given to her father, who has a long criminal record, and including shooting a person in the face in a drug deal, and got given to her father.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a big battle. That's a huge battle up here right now. And everybody's lying. It's a big lie, and it's a mainstream lie source. It's been going on for 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years. They still can't figure out where this little girl is.
You know, I was going to say, I don't know about you all, but I believe, in my opinion, that ever since President Trump, and I say President Trump because to me, he's still my president. Okay. When he lost due to these Democrats, I mean, I don't know. I just feel that everything since that guy took office, you know, lost in space Biden, you know, everything's turned upside down. Everything has turned upside down. You know, and it seems that he likes little girls, you know, and little boys.
He's a Jeffrey Epstein supporter. That guy is touching Joe.
Yeah. You know,
but wait, Justice, you need to hear this. Carissa, tell everybody what you know about Trump and CPS.
He actually signed into law in 2018, and it just became effective in 2022. That it's the Family First Prevention Act that he signed, so that way that CPS can stop automatically just taking the kids out of the home and giving them a chance to be in home, getting help before they get taken. It's a prevention act, so that way they don't get taken right away. It gives a family a chance to actually give the initiative to do what they need to do before they get taken. And another thing is, if they are taken, then they give them like in-home therapy and stuff. Like they give you a better chance and more time to get your kid back, instead of the 18 months that Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton wanted, only for that period of time so they can adopt them out as fast as possible. He basically stopped what Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton were trying to do to our kids.
Awesome.
You know what? I'm going to answer Amy right here. She wrote, "Stop with the Trump. Trump has never been about the people. It pisses me off that y'all said he was about the people. He's always been." Look, Amy,
we're stating facts.
Wait, hold on. No. Let's not go there. So many people that know me on my shows, they know I speak my mind. I don't care who you are. All right. So I used to be a Democrat as of last year. Now I am no longer a Democrat or a Republican. I just know that I want to vote independently. I want to be an independent voter. So I vote for the right party. I don't care for the right person. I mean, now, when you say Trump was about the people, why would he go through that extent if it was just, I mean, if Trump was not about the people, why would he go through that extent to do that against the Department of Child Services? That's a question, right?
Yeah.
He didn't have to do it. But the media made it look like, and I studied about this. I didn't vote for Trump, and I actually kicked myself in the head for not voting for Trump. now that I know so much that he's done, I kick myself in the head for it. Why? Because what happened was the media makes it look so bad that distraction was away from what he was really doing. And yes, he had diarrhea in the mouth, and I get that. I get he had diarrhea in the mouth, but a lot of stuff that he's done was actually good for the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was.
Okay, so you can have your opinion, and I respect that. I really, really do. So, no, everything he did was not for the benefit of his pocket, of the billionaire.
That guy didn't need to make any more money. I'm sick of everybody saying that.
Yeah, that guy was swimming in his own money.
Wow.
He's been bankrupt more times than people have been millionaires. So come on. Yeah.
Yes, he was for the children. That's exactly right.
He sure was.
So is this
but you know what I liked? You know what I loved the most about him, that I admired about him, about Trump, is the love, respect, and dedication that he had to the Jewish people of Israel.
Yeah.
That right there, it tells me a lot about the man.
Yeah. I mean, everybody have their opinion. Amy has her opinion too. Well, actually, she said, I doubt Clinton knew this would happen. That's funny, Amy, because the 1997 act that Bill Clinton put together was to give the social services immunity and funding for stealing your children.
This is the Family First Act you're talking about, right? Is this what we're talking about here?
Family First Prevention Act.
Oh, for Trump?
Yeah.
So in the there's a thing called the imprint. I don't know if you know. It's called.
Yeah,
Did you get the cliff notes from that for the whole thing that breaks down the whole the whole act and how it does? Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. But the imprint's a good place to get some information.
Yeah,
from.
Imprint and Rise. I go to Rise, the magazine Rise, because it's written by other people who've been through the experience, and then I subscribe to Imprint. That's Imprint magazine, I think it is, or something like that.
Yeah, Imprint. Yeah.
I've posted those on the show before, I think, like a couple of the articles. But yeah, they have a lot of information. They break it down for you, like the whole thing on Imprint, to tell you, like, see, like some of the stuff I feel like are loopholes for some things, especially for what my kids are going through right now.
Cassandra, 1 second, baby. Amy, my show is about real talk. If I want to talk about politics and how it involves Child Protective Services, I will talk about politics and how it involves Child Protective Services. If you object to it and you're not happy with it, honey, you don't have to watch the show. So this is real talk. This is my talk show, period.
And that's what CPS is all about, is politics.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
That's what's going to make a change, is us telling the politicians to make a change.
Exactly.
We're going to have a difference. If we make that difference, that's on us. Like we have to make
isn't it, I'm sorry to interrupt, but isn't it also going to the right politician? Because I mean, from what I hear, a lot of these politicians are also involved in this in this bullshit, you know?
Right.
So how do we know who's the right person to go to, though?
We just let them all know.
Just let them all know?
Every single one.
We have to let them all know. We all need to be heard. Okay. Again, if Amy, if you feel like this show is about politics, and even though we are discussing what it has to do with Child Protective Services and you're not happy, you don't have to watch the show, Amy. This is real talk. We talk about everything that pertains to Child Protective Services.
But education is the key.
Exactly.
Stay here and get educated. Don't leave.
Right. So if you're not happy with that, Amy, that's fine. That's your opinion. But I am not going to accept it as my own. Okay? So for the people who are still watching, Child Protective Services, also known as CPS, became a protected empire built on kidnapping children and destroying families. Bill Clinton Amy's favorite. In 1997, Act offered cash bonuses to the state for every child they adopt out in foster care. And in order to receive the adoption incentives, bonuses, CPS treated kids like merchandise that sells, and they must bring plenty of innocent children so the buyers can choose. Workers work to keep the federal money flowing. Each bonus is multiplied by a percentage that the state has managed to exceed baseline adoption numbers. Therefore, the state and local communities, which are CPS, work hard to reach their goal to increase the numbers of adoption. This program is set by the very top and is run by the Health and Human Resources. This is why victims of CPS don't get the help from their legislator. Our tax dollars is keeping this gigantic system afloat, and 6 out of 10 kids die in foster home. CPS became a protected empire built on just taking children and separating family, which is called illegal kidnapping. Poor parents are targeted to lose their kids because they do not have money to hire an attorney. CPS workers commit fraud and withhold evidence in the court, no checks and balances. Judges allow them to run the show. The separation of families and the snatching of children is growing as CPS business grows because the state and the local government are accustomed to having these taxpayers' dollars to balance their overgrowing budget. So the ones that benefit from this are the state employees, children therapists, court-appointed attorneys, guardian ad litem, CPS investigators, judges, foster parents, adoptive foster parents, children's psychiatrists. All of these looking for children in the state is because they need to have job security. Okay, so again, government, politicians, all these motherfuckers who take office, they promise one thing and they do another. Okay? They promise one thing and they do another. Who are the ones targeted? Are the poor people that can't afford an attorney. They don't target rich people. Why? Because these motherfuckers can hire 5 attorneys, 3 attorneys, 2 attorneys to defend their case. So who are they going to focus on? They're going to focus on the poor people, the ones who are trying to make ends meet, a hardworking father or a dedicated mother. There you go. Why? Because they slapped them with a court pretender to be an attorney. And most of the court pretenders, the court appointed attorneys, that is, they actually are criminal attorneys or family law attorneys. They don't even know how to fight the state. They don't even know what the fucking law is when it comes to juvenile dependency cases. That's why they don't know what the fuck to say in court. That's why they stay silent. That's why the judges love those type of attorney, and the judges hate it when you have the money to hire your own attorney to actually fight for your case.
Let me ask you this, Georgia. Because there's a lot of scrutiny here. So when they come and they take your kid and they say that your kid is up, they charge you with abuse and neglect. Now, what's the standard of that? Like, because there's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Like, they hide behind those words, abuse and neglect. What does it say? What is the, if Mr. Davis was in the courtroom or whatever, what would be the things that he's looking for as far as them being able to determine what abuse or neglect is?
Question.
When there is a domestic violence case, for example, say that there's a neighbor that reported you for domestic violence, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And there is no domestic violence, but the police gets involved. Mm-hmm. That becomes abuse and neglect against the children. Because even if your child was not home, everything is abuse and neglect. Remember when I had my show, you guys, and I said there was a judge in LA County, and that judge owned a adoptive agency, and he owns it in 4 different counties, and that agency only takes kids who are abused and neglected, literally. So all the cases he closes is abuse and neglect. You know,
which are all of
them. Did not witness you fighting with your spouse, right, or even arguing or having a disagreement about money, it automatically becomes neglect and abuse.
Yeah. Did you go to that website that I told you about last time?
I did. I'm actually doing the substance abuse certification program right now, actually. So yes, I did.
Yeah. And the one that I was talking about.
And he's not even, but he's doing classes he doesn't need to be doing.
No,
just FYI.
Like
I'm just learning. Yeah, just learning.
Just learning, Miss G. Like, really, you should go to that thing and see what they have for these people to learn. Like the one for attorneys and judges.
That's what I'm using. This one for the attorneys.
That one right there will tell you the question you just asked.
It'll give you the definition.
You just asked. It will let you know an insight of what they're supposed to look for that answer.
To actually label them.
Yes, that whole thing tells you exactly what they're supposed to label as. Because there's some scenarios on there. I was like, wait, I was confused. Like if I should think that was abuse or unsafe for your kid, but then they tell you that it is safe, and I'm like, well, like it was confusing. And then when I realized how they explained it, it makes sense.
Right, and I'm only saying that because I know in a lot of these things they. Like if you are a substance abuser, immediately they tag you with being abuse and neglectful. However, there's case law that states that just because you have possession of drugs, it doesn't make you a bad parent.
Exactly.
So abuse and neglect, I understand, and I'm not making light by any means of anybody that uses drugs. I mean, I'm not trying to condone it or any of that by no means. However, I have a lot of people, we all probably know people that, may have a glass of wine or, they have a Vicodin for dinner or whatever. That doesn't make them abuse and neglect. I see what they're, because they're saying it's the potential to harm, like you might.
Exactly. And that's why they're supposed to put an in-home safety plan before a case plan. That's what that thing tells you. They're supposed to go by putting an in-home safety plan first. So that way it prevents the kids from going into CPS.
Correct. Correct.
But they do not do all that, obviously, because I would have had a in-home safety plan or a case plan. I don't even know my own case plan. Like, that's how fucked up they are to me. Like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
But you do not have to finish anything. Nothing. You do not have to finish classes. You don't have to do what they say to get your kid back. It says it right there in that thing that I watched for those classes. You do not.
The classes are just a distraction. I keep telling you guys this. The classes are just a distraction, so that way they can say, Miss Rebecca Harrison, you've done 6 months of classes. I don't think you changed. You have to do another 6 months. And all that she's doing is distracting her
and ripping your bond up.
That's what my public pretender keeps on telling me. I have to finish those classes when I know damn well I don't have to finish those classes. I just have to prove that I know the difference between safe and unsafe situations for my child.
You didn't even have to. You weren't even there.
Exactly. And I know that was unsafe for my kids. Now that I know that it was going on.
Hold on. Go ahead, Justice.
Sorry, I have a quick question. What do we do in a situation where you get a knock at the door, CPS worker says, how we got a phone call that there was some drug use in the house. I personally, I smoke weed. That's the only thing I mess with, but here in the state of Texas, you're not supposed to be smoking weed anyways. But what do you tell a worker? I mean, if they ask you, hey, you got to go drug test, is that something that, or also we're going to take your kids if you deny the test, refuse the test?
By law, they cannot make you do a drug test, and they cannot make you do a lie detector test either. By law, they cannot get a court order to speak with you or your wife or your, they just, by law, no judge can ever do that. There is no such law for a judge to do that. So you consent to that on your own free will, just like you consent to the devils on your own free will.
I was told that they can't drug test you legally without having actual allegations. Like if your allegations didn't have anything to do with drugs, they can't legally drug test you. But if they did, I heard that they could, but I guess not.
No, they do this to everybody. We have clients who actually don't do drugs, but they want them to take rehab classes.
Yeah,
why would you go take rehab classes if you've never done drugs?
They want me to go to NA and
drug
stuff.
testing every fucking day. Why would you do that? And it's all negative. So why you keep doing that? It's
That's
all
like
nothing but frustration, distraction, distracting you away from your children.
Right. They're breaking that bond between you and your kid because you're focused on other things.
It's called parental
Okay.
alienation.
Mhm.
That's what it's called.
Okay.
So when a family has to go to court to see their children, that's fucking parental alienation right there.
Mhm.
That's parental alienation. I mean, there's really nothing anyone can tell me that will ever, 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 ever change my mind about that. Okay? So this is very, very, very wise words that a friend of mine shared with me. She said, if a father or a mother has to go to court to see his or her children, parental alienation is existing in court and already has been happening, because we as parents we should not be going to court, but this all about money. The judges make money while they're sitting on their asses wearing black robes, right?
Yeah.
Making decisions, and they don't even know the truth. A judge cannot read a narcissist father if his life depended on it in court, because they're not equipped. They're not that smart to actually know what a victim is and what the perpetrator is. So in court, automatically the lies becomes the truth and the truth becomes the lies, while the victim is jumping up and down saying, what the fuck is going on? Once the victim opens her mouth, then the victim is crazy. But a narcissist, especially a covert narcissist, how do they behave? They behave very calm, just like the snake, calm. So a judge sees that as the better parent, but they see the other parent going out of their mind because the lies and the manipulation that exist.
Right. They call you angry. They call you out of control, mental, unstable, all of these things. And really, you're just acting out of passion and the fire that you have for all the bullshit that these people are calling on you.
Right.
Really.
Yeah. And automatically you need anger management, or you need to go see a therapist or something.
Classes, parenting classes, NA. Yeah, I got all of that because of something that happened during my childhood against my mother, who was abusive to me.
Right.
And she never got me taken away. I don't know. Like, it was, my mom was very abusive to me, and she never got me taken away. She had domestic violence in front of me all the time, and I never got taken away. I didn't do any of that to my children, and they got taken away.
There you go. See? So what CPS honors are abusers. 100%. And that's the God honest truth. I mean, Justice, do you want to talk to them about your son, or?
Yeah, definitely. Earlier this morning, my 22-year-old son, which is autistic, and MMR, but he's got a hell of a memory and he's a good boy. He told me, he started breaking down, and he told me that he was multiply raped multiple times in this group home, with foster care, with a lady that was hired through the state, through the state, and DCFS hired her. Well, other kids were also involved in the rape, and other kids were being raped. Little girls, little boys, from what my son tells me. And the lady knew about it. And she even had my son tied to the bed, and he would have him sleep with another man next to him. What kind of shit is that, Fucking, she even fucking busted a bat over my son's head. He still has the mark on top of his head, And I went crazy this morning. I didn't know what to do, who to call. I started making phone calls to the cops, the sheriff deputies for the county that I live in.
They're not going to help.
They're not going to help me. They fucking blew me off. And I also told them that my son had stated that there were other kids that were molested and raped, and that we didn't know if it was still occurring since 2005, because that's when it happened, and it happened for years. okay, until I got custody of him.
17 years.
I wasn't the offending parent. My son got taken away because his mom was deep into drugs, and so they contacted me one day, CPS, and says, "Hey, do you want your son? You know, you're gonna have to show up to court." And at the time, I was living in Arizona, so I had to drive back and forth so many times to court. I finally got him. The mom's boyfriend also raped my son.
What the fuck?
And DCFS knew about it, but they didn't do shit about it. It's fucked up. It's a fucked up system, man.
Yeah. And just so you know, Justice, we get a lot of calls like that where kids actually call me. We're talking about 16, 14-year-old kids call me for help. Because they're being abused, they're being molested. There's so many of them that run from the home, the group homes, all of that, but yet they take them from the fucking parents. There's a 14-year-old, she said, I love my mother. I love my mother. She left her sister in the group home and she ran away. She said, my mom never hurt us. Our dad lied about my mom. And she said, I want to save me and my sister. I asked her, how old is your sister? She said, 9. And I said, why is she in a group home, not in a foster home? And she said, because she was crying over my mom every night. And the foster parent said, I can't handle her anymore. And they put her in a group home.
That's exactly what happened to my kids.
Yeah. So on top of that, the 14-year-old was crying for help.
Mm-hmm.
For help. Because they're being abused. And I said, I asked her, I said, did you talk to a social worker? She said, I did, and she's not listening to me. And then all of a sudden, the call dropped. That girl was in tears. I didn't know what state she was in. I didn't know what county she was in. Like the whole entire time I was crying. I texted Mr. Davis. I was in tears. I was like, I need my call traced. I mean, I wanted to find her so badly. So badly.
How many times has DCFS been contacted by several kids or family members or neighbors that, hey, this kid needs help. He's possibly getting abused. For example, a good point is Gabriel from Palmdale. Remember that kid? DCFS were the ones that neglected that kid. That kid could have been alive today if he would have done something in the beginning.
Can I say something about Fernandez stuff? Can I say something about him real quick?
Yeah.
This kid was abused by his mother and his mother's boyfriend. When the calls kept going, am I wrong, Cassandra? It was his mother, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So CPS knew he was being abused, but why did they keep him there? Let me tell you why. Just listen and be silent. The reason they kept him there is because they want to come back in front of the media and say, see, that's why you need CPS, because look what the mother did to the child. Get it now? They need justification for their demonic.
To stick around.
To stick around. So that way they can show the whole world that CPS is needed. No, motherfuckers, you're not needed. You're useless because you keep children, abuse children with the abusers. And you steal children from good families. There's so many reasons why. They steal children because the mother is Christian. They steal children because the father has a tattoo. They steal children because the mother told them to fuck off. That's not a reason to steal someone's children. Retaliation against the Department of Child Protective fucking Services is not a reason to steal your children. If a mother reacted towards a social worker's behavior, the social worker would take that and then steal her children, even when the mother is in the right. So they have the upper hand. Monitors do the same thing. Paid monitors from the other party do the same thing. There is a lady that had this monitor visits. The monitor is related to the father's wife. that monitor, not related, she knows the wife's uncle, they're like close friends. That monitor had the mother clean her house once a week because she told the mother she needed help. The mother was kind enough to help her clean the house once a week. And she retaliated against the mother by making sure she has the worst report against her because the mother said she can't clean her house anymore.
I got the perfect thing, like the perfect story that's going on in California right now.
Wait,
Does anybody know the Turpin children?
Let's go back to justice. What is your plan? What's your plan?
Honestly, brother, I don't know what to do because again, I called the county sheriff to make a report because I thought that they would get in contact with the other state, you know, and then the other state would respond and want to do an interview for my son. Well, they told me to kick rocks, basically. I've also contacted a couple of attorneys this morning. I swear to you guys, I could tell by their body language over the phone that they didn't give a shit and that they didn't want to help me when they knew that there was something that they could do. When I told them that when I involved other kids who were possibly being raped and hurt, they didn't give a shit. They told me to kick rocks too. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to contact or where to go.
Georgia, who does he call? Where should he start on the chain of command? Where do you think?
I told him I was going to talk to Mr. Davis about this.
Oh, no, she did. She did.
Yeah. I told him because his case is
But when you have, so in general, if you have a complaint and of abuse going on in the foster home or whatever against your children, what's the proper avenue to travel?
If you have evidence of that abuse and neglect and the molestation, what have you, you can actually sue the department. You don't have to wait until you get your child back. Once you show proof evidence that you have, you can actually sue the fuck out of them.
Yes, and what you should. But for instance, to get those things, to get something to stop to protect them, what are your
hire an investigator?
Yeah.
Hire a private investigator.
I know in California you're supposed to.
If you guys want a private investigator, I know one that's very, very, very reasonable. You guys can call me in my office, and I'll be happy to share that information with you.
So Justice needs to start building a report, like do his own investigation with his son and everything to put a file together, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they investigate the house that they're in. They investigate whoever the foster parents are. They investigate them. Even if you have a monitor, you can hire an investigator to monitor the monitor.
Through the like in California, like to start a report, like to notify have written statement that you try to notify them and for all that stuff. I know you call the abundance person. So you can make a report to start, like you try to tell them this so that way you have
a paper trace.
Yeah. So you call the abundance person of your state and you tell them that this is going on or this went on and you need to investigate.
I'm sorry, I missed that part. Who did you say I have to call?
Your state abundance person for foster youth.
What does that mean, abundance?
Abundance. It's like a person that
they're the overseer.
It's an activist for your child's foster care rights. Like I have a certificate for it in California, and it's supposed to. They're supposed to know, and all kids are supposed to know their rights for foster care. And if they don't get told that, or they're breaking any of those rights, they're supposed to do an investigation on it.
Okay. But
you need to contact your state representatives and your state senators. Okay?
Okay.
State representative and state senators. You need to go down and speak with them and let yourself be known. That's why I said everybody needs to go down. You just need to know who they are. You need to file a report with them. Let yourself be known. Let yourself be known. That's very important. Your state assembly makes the laws. Remember that the state assemblies makes the laws. You need to know who your state representatives and state senators are.
You got a pencil there, Justice?
Yeah, I do.
This is the office that they're both talking about right here for Texas. It's 877-787-8999. That's the governor's office with the ombudsman in it.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's where Georgette and they're talking about going to. I know it's the ombudsman's office as well, but that's the number for them to contact and make a complaint.
Yeah, to start making a paper trail.
Right.
Okay.
That's very important because, I mean, we need to be heard, but a lot of people are afraid to speak. A lot of people are actually afraid to speak. If you're afraid to speak, then how are we going to be heard? One person cannot make a difference. Even though they say one person can, that's bullshit. Whoever told you that is a lie. One person cannot make a difference. We need a mass of people to make a difference. Mass of people to make a difference.
May 24th, Washington, D.C.
Yeah, but not everybody can travel to Washington, D.C.
So we can get online, right? They can do the online protest, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
If we show the unity. I'll talk to them. We'll find out. I'll let you know about that
Send
stuff.
me the link.
Yeah, I will. Yes. Yeah, I'll get a hold of it right now.
I wish you had the link now. We could have posted it.
Yeah, I'll get it right now for you. I think I do have it.
Yeah, if you have it, that'd be great. So again, I just want to say this while Darren is getting the link for you guys, is that doing a CPS investigation, please, I'm begging you, do not speak too much. Smile more, and speak less. If you guys can practice that, that would be good for you.
Okay.
Shirley said that, Osman sucks. Well, they all sucks. But paper trace is what we're talking about, baby girl.
Exactly. Paper trace. Like,
yeah. We all know they're corrupt. All of them are corrupt. We're talking about from the White House to the fucking mayor. They're all corrupt. All corrupt. Okay?
But I know that I got a certificate to freaking know all my child's rights from that website, like in California. Like I got a certificate saying I know what I'm talking about when it comes to my child's rights. And I studied all those rights. That doesn't mean you have to call the abundance person to be that's just to start a paper trail. You never know, they might help. It might be the right person. You know what I mean? Yeah. But to just start a paper trail before you start a freaking any kind of case, that would be the person to call first. Because that's the person that's supposed to take care of foster youth's rights. And that means their safety.
Okay.
And call them often. They'll give you an appointment. It'll be like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month out or whatever. Keep calling them, man. Keep calling them. And then when you're not satisfied, man, I'll bet you I send out anywhere between 10 and 100 letters a day to people. They don't answer me. I don't care. Keep sending them, man, because eventually, you know what I mean? You got it. Someone's got to break, and unfortunately I haven't seen that break yet. But I will. I mean, you just got to keep going, man. And your kids, you just knowing what you just said, I'm on fire, man. I'm gonna do whatever I can do to, on this side of the world to help you out with that, because that's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going all the way, man. All the way. I'm not gonna back down.
Justice, I want you to get a hold of Darren, if that's okay with you, Darren.
Yeah, that's fine.
Darren, like I said, I've known him for a very long time, him and his wife, and you can't really, honestly, I have a group of co-host with me right now. I love so much. They're good people. Good people. Darren, Justice, you can trust Darren, okay?
Yeah, brought together by one of the best. That's you, Miss G.
Oh, I love you too, man. It's all love here. I want to answer John's question. John wants to know how he can get a hold of me directly. John, if you call the 888 number that you see on the screen, the 888-888-6582, and Joni or Rachel will answer the phone and just ask them to speak with me. If I'm on the phone, they will send me an email to call you. once I call you, you're gonna be able to have my cell number, and we're gonna be able to text each other back and forth or what have you, and you can save my number with you, and I'll be able to talk to you more about your case and know, what we can do to help you.
I'm just saying that.
Okay, so Shirley said, okay, that I got my kids back, but my kids are at risk. 3 grands in Pennsylvania, and here my daughter that lives here. I'm not understanding what you're saying, sweetheart. I definitely need to get my file to you.
So this is pretty cool. I'm sorry to
Uh-huh.
be rude. So I'm just reading some of the posts for this because this is kind of what you just in touch with what you were saying. So what they're saying in this messaging and this about the messaging for the rally, it says, yes, parents' rights rally. We are not a protest. We're not a march. We are there to inform parents and the administrators on all the Facebook pages that we can gather together to unify under the children's movement. So that's what this same thing is about, is taking, like you're saying, Georgia, taking all these little pieces and putting them into one spot so that it's a voice that we can, can be that powerhouse. Because without that, one person, like you said, maybe 2 people hear it, 1 million, someone's listening.
And you know what really gets me is when CPS sees a bruise on the knee of a child, and say the woman has 4 kids or 3 kids, they actually go after all the kids. There's no bruises on them. They didn't fall. They didn't hurt themselves. But yet they go after all the kids. What the fuck is up with that? What kind of fucking law is that? I mean, what the fuck?
No, what the fuck?
A child cannot fucking fall anymore and be as an accident. It's always abuse involved. That's fucked up.
Yeah, it is fucked up. And not just that too, Georgette, but also the fact that if they spot a bruise on your kid, they're gonna assume to believe right away that all of them have bruises. So therefore, they're gonna want to check them. Them personally are gonna want to check my kids. Have them take off their fucking pants. If they're wearing diapers, they want to see if there's any bruises in there underneath the diaper, underneath the shirt. It's fucking bullshit.
Right.
Only a doctor and a parent should be able to touch your kids.
Exactly.
And check them.
Yep. There you go. I mean, that's how oh my God. Even doctors are in on it though. I mean,
really,
if a mother has a child, right, and something is wrong with the child, she takes the child to the hospital. Guess what? If there's an abuser or a narcissist would never take their kids to the doctor. Ever. Yeah. Unless they have to. Unless they have to take their kids to the doctor, that's when, usually before the court date, right? If the mother takes them to court and then all of a sudden, let me take the kid to the therapist now so I can look good as a dad. Get it? It's so weird how things go. And everybody is clueless in the courtroom how shit happens. Clueless. It is disgusting. Oh my God.
It's almost perverted.
I'm telling you.
We talked about it in counseling today.
The devil runs the show on earth, in the court system, that is.
Right.
The court system is broken as hell. If you don't realize the Turpin children, the ones that were getting abused, 15 kids that were getting abused by their fucking parents for years and years, and nobody knew. Right. They sent the younger ones that were getting abused, they sent them to a pedophile foster home. Yep. And they got abused there too.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. Wow. That shouldn't be happening.
It shouldn't be happening. No, it shouldn't be happening. But it happens. And people don't understand that. And unfortunately, some people are so blinded to really what goes on in the system.
Blinded. They don't want to believe it.
Children welfare boss who sent Turpin children to live with an alleged pedophile. It's ridiculous. This lady if you can see it. I don't know. I don't think you see it. Can you?
Yes.
Yeah, I
That
see it.
lady is the boss, and she sent those poor kids right there. She sent those poor kids that were already getting abused by their parents.
Yep.
To a pedophile.
Yeah.
Fuck her. She'll have her day with God. That's the way I see it.
Well, all of them will. Unfortunately, they don't care. They really don't. But they will care when they have their creator. They will care whether they're Christian or not. They will care.
Yep.
Because his wrath, whoa, there is literally no way you can be saved from that.
Yep.
I bet it's even worse than yours, huh, Georgette?
It's disgusting. I'm telling you, I've heard stories, Darren. If you hear the stories that I hear, you would literally need a mental vacation.
And
do you have any idea?
Well, my wife says I need that all the time.
Not only did she do that, she sent another girl to a pedophile, and she was only 13 and repeatedly got raped and became pregnant. That same lady did that same shit to somebody else, not just the Turpin children.
You guys have to understand
She's the boss. It says boss.
Yeah.
Chief social services worker boss. Wonder why she's a boss.
And you know what's so sad? Those are the same people that actually treat their kids badly. The same people that steal your children are the same people who are evil in their lives. We have a lady that lost her kids because the social worker told her this, and I quote, "You think you're cute, don't you?"
Huh.
She was beautiful. I literally, when she was talking to me, I said, "Send me a picture of yourself." I kid you not, she was gorgeous. She was like, oh my God, she was better than a model. That's how gorgeous she was. So the social worker didn't like her appearance, right? So she retaliated against her and took her kids.
Huh? Well, look, I did that podcast. I did nothing wrong. And they took everything away from me from my daughter.
Yep.
Because I did a podcast.
Because you did a podcast. Uh-huh.
I broke no laws, no nothing. And now I'm no longer to see my daughter, speak to her, or nothing. She's 4 years old. Thankfully, my wife can still, but they stopped immediately.
Because he did it. You know, they can't do that. They can't do that.
No,
they
it doesn't.
Cannot do that.
It's supposed to be an order by the judge, correct?
Yeah, it's supposed to be an order by the judge. He didn't give you an order.
No,
so
the judge's order is to reunify.
Exactly. But he didn't give you an order not to do a podcast.
No, he didn't give me an order not to see my kid.
That states that. That's their own fucking rules that they come up with. That's their own fucking rules they come up with. That's disgusting. It's disgusting. And just for you guys who are watching the show, Darren is a great husband and a great father. And his wife is an amazing woman. And like I said, I've known them for 2 years, and I love both of them so much. And like I mentioned in the show, we used to talk together. Darren, do you remember when we used to talk together?
Oh, yeah. Hours. We would just leave the phone on. Remember, the phone would just be on. Just or whatever.
Like until midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. It was always after work.
Rainstorms. Stuck under a bridge.
Stuck under the bridge when they were driving across country.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, again, there's a lot of good parents out there who don't deserve to lose their children. A lot of good parents. And honestly, guys, I'm telling you, humble yourselves, get down on your knees, pray, and have faith in God, and stand together as unity and fight against the system. We pay for their salary. Remember this.
Right. They work for you. These are government employees.
They work for us. We pay for their salary.
Yeah.
So let your voice be heard.
And it's actually your constitutional, it's your constitutional obligation, furthermore, to speak out against a government entity that's wronging the law.
Right.
You know, and so what I did with the podcast and them doing that to me, they violated my constitutional right of freedom of speech. And not only that, I was supposed to do that. The Constitution calls on you to call out against government fraud and tyranny and all of this stuff.
That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have to take a stand, and your voice will be heard if we all unite
And it
together.
will get easier when there becomes more in a solid
Yeah.
group, like you're saying, because it's scary right now. I get it. You don't want to talk too much because you're afraid. If you gripe, complain, you'll end up like me. But I mean, I care. I love my baby girls more than anything in this world.
I know you
But
do.
there's a bigger picture here, and this thing just needs to stop. I will get my baby girl home, but I don't want someone else coming up behind me to get the same penalties. You know what I mean? So the
Yeah.
fight is worth it for me. It has to be, because we got this is just too much for.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate that I'm a strong man and my woman is strong too, that we can handle this. But some people, this is too much. It pushes them right over the edge, and they didn't even deserve this.
True.
We said
I
this in
want
counseling. We said it in counseling today. How many families and people do these people destroy?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot over money. A lot.
Yeah.
And not even over abuse or neglect, over poverty,
Right.
and homelessness.
Right.
Just help these people, and there wouldn't be that problem.
Even like if a mother lost her job, for example, and she went to a shelter because she was advised to be able to get government assistance. Well, guess what? Once you do that, they're gonna fucking take your kids.
Right.
They're gonna fucking take your kids from the shelter.
Yep.
Well, they say government help. That's what the Democrats wants us to think, right?
Yeah.
Government help. Obamacare.
Go into a substance abuse. Go to a substance abuse program. Try to get yourself better. Where you're supposed to have a strong family support group. See you later. Bye-bye.
They're supposed to stop that now. They're supposed to actually give you that while you still have your fucking child. Seriously.
Yeah.
You should still have your child while you're going through these classes and everything else. How do you expect us to even succeed without our kids being there with us? We're worried about what our kids are going through because we care, and you're expecting us to go through these substance abuse classes and all these classes when we can't even find the fucking will to live.
I don't want to go against it. I mean, it's right, but it's got to be right for you. When you're taking a substance abuser, you can't force them to do something. The choice has to be theirs. Now, I'm not saying that the kid isn't enough of a choice to go ahead and do that, but they're doing it all backwards, and they're breaking it. Instead of making someone make the right choices in life and welcoming them into it and feeling comfortable doing it, they're doing it backwards. Because now they're taking away their support groups, they're taking away everything from these people and forcing them into relapse situations. They're feared of taking urine screens. They're all of these things that they're doing backwards when they could be helping and coddling these people and making better people and doing it the right way. And they're not. They're ruling by fear because they're demons. They're uncompassionate, zero understanding. They don't know their ass from their elbow when it comes to hearts and lives and God. And that's just that. That's just as simple as that. They lack compassion. They lack God. And then without those two things, they ain't worth a damn nothing.
I know. This is crazy. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You guys, we need, well, first of all, Shirley said, I want to help too, guys. Shirley, we need everybody to help. We need you to get everybody you know. And Jessica, for you to get everybody you know. And Cindy, everybody you know. And John, and who else? Who else is on here?
So everybody needs to just keep watching your show.
Raven.
Needs, right.
Yes, everyone watching the show.
Then we build a crew.
Get together. Contact Cassandra. Contact Darren. We need to start getting voting together also.
Look at the comments.
Right?
I got my email on there.
Cassandra, hold on. I'm going to get you on Darren your own email address through the office. I'm going to talk to Mr. Davis about that, okay? So I want to tell you guys this. We all need to get together. All of us together. We need to unite together, and you need to find your state. First of all, go to each one state and help them and find out numbers for them to contact their state assembly. Remember?
Good call. Yeah, just to start there, just a simple list.
Yep. And then make the reports happen. Keep reporting it. You have paper trace, right? They can't fucking come back and say we didn't do it. They can't come back and say you never told us, because these motherfuckers count on that.
Right.
Because you're so exhausted, they count on you saying, and you're not doing that. So
right.
they come back and say, I never knew. No one told me. No
Yep.
one reported it, etc.,
Right.
etc. So be very mindful about that. Keep reporting it, okay? And then Cassandra and Darren, please, I beg you, try to get to many people as possible and let's get them together. And also, voting is important.
Yeah.
Don't just vote because you're a Republican. Don't just vote because you're a Democrat for a
Yeah.
Democrat.
Forget the party
You
affiliation.
have
Vote
to
with the right thing.
for the right party.
Right.
Forget about your Democratic and
Yeah.
Republican shit. You need to vote for the right person. What if a Democrat was actually a good fit? Think about that.
Right.
And the Republican is the bad fit. But what if the Republican is the best fit and the Democrat is not? That's running for office. Are you still going to vote for the Democrat because you're Democratic, or are you going to vote for the right party?
Right.
Honestly, we all should become independent
Yeah,
thinkers.
absolutely.
We
Be
shouldn't
your own.
belong to a party. We
Right.
shouldn't.
Be your own mind, your own.
Right.
Yeah.
Be your
Absolutely.
own independent thinker and start think for yourself and who you want to vote for, and make sure that you really do your due diligence about this person. I started with a group of mothers. We're going to start doing the voting campaign rallies, okay, where we're going to whoever's running for office, we're going to examine that person. We're going to find out everything about that person. We're not going to rely on the news. You understand what I'm saying? We need to know everything about this person and what they stand for. And just remember that what they stand for is very important.
Do you have a place? Do you have a, what's your website, Miss G? Do you have a website or anything? You have that, right? You have a website?
No, I only have Mr. Davis because I work for him. I can't
Right.
have my own website.
So everybody can log into, though, they could go see Mr. Davis's site, right? That's what, Vincent Davis Law or whatever.
What you guys can do, always contact me. Always contact me. I'm gonna try my best to get Darren and Cassandra also a way for you guys to contact them. And like I said, these two parents right here, they're amazing people. I really trust them and I love them very much. And we have to get together and we're gonna have to start helping one another nonstop. I'm not joking. We're gonna have to be heard, and we're gonna have to bring a stop to this immediately. Okay,
Right.
we cannot be silent anymore. This has to stop. This shit has to stop.
Yeah, because you would think they're gaining momentum too.
Yeah.
You know, so it's time to headbutt this thing, and you know, everybody just let's get the glue together and let's make this thing let's make this be over with.
Yes.
Because it's not the parents that are getting this abuse, it's those little children that don't know. You know, they haven't even had a chance to experience anything yet, and they don't know what's right and wrong. They've done nothing to be punished, but yet they're the ones that are the punished, you know.
Right. Right.
It's awful.
So just like I even wrote, I've been advocating for myself for too long and I have not been able to win. I understand that, baby. You're dealing with a bunch of demons.
Yeah.
You're dealing with a bunch of demons, and they're not one or two group, baby. We're
Right.
talking about millions of them everywhere. Millions of them. These motherfuckers are narcissistic, sociopathic assholes that run this country. Okay? All of them.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? So that social worker that stole your child, you fucking paid your fucking money to the IRS. All your tax dollars that go to them, rather, I don't know why I said the IRS, but all your tax dollars that go to them, they actually giving them money. They're like, here, take my children. Here, I'm paying you. Tax dollars. That's what's paying them.
Yep.
So they actually work
illegally
for you.
kidnap.
Yeah, they actually work for you. What is Amy saying? Go ahead and read that, guys.
Yeah. Has anyone dealt with the emancipation? She's in Northern Cali and angry as to what happened to her. Emancipation, what's that? When you separate from your
yeah, when you
become emancipated? Is that what that is?
when you become emancipated, you become your own, you become an adult on your own at a certain age or something like that.
So I'm wondering if maybe she's asking if she can be emancipated. Is that what she's saying? I'm in Northern Cali and I'm still angry as to what happened to me. So maybe she was shipped into a foster home, and then maybe she was thinking that she was trying to get emancipated.
I'm not understanding that. But like I said, you guys need to you need to work together. All of us need to work together. We all need to help each other. The reason we are divided like this because we are different parties. And I keep telling people this. Democrats don't want to involve themselves with Republicans. Republicans don't want to involve themselves with Democrats. You guys need to put this shit aside. We are parents. At the end of the day, we are parents. There is no such thing as a Republican and a Democrat. That's bullshit.
Right.
And we're
That's
all
how
human
they
beings.
divide us to begin with. They divide us to begin with because the devil likes to be praised. Stop doing that shit. Stop it. Just stop. Just stop it. Stop it. Don't talk too much to the social worker. Don't fucking spill your guts to a worker thinking she's your friend. Stop doing that. And I keep telling you guys this over and over again. And what do? They do the opposite of what I say. They start talking. They start, oh, do you want some tea, Miss So-and-so? Oh, yeah, I love your dress. Oh, I got mine from where? Oh, where did you get yours? And they start talking. They're milking you out. They're milking you out with information. And they're going to use that information against you. So stop it. Just stop. Oh, my God. The show went on.
I kind of like what this article says right here, like, because it has a lot to do with, like, why they keep on ripping our fucking kids out from under us, like fucking because of false reports and shit like that. This guy says, what would work? Turning mandatory reporters into mandatory supporters, providing concrete help to take the aspects out of poverty and drug treatment on demand. And that requires like boosting families by providing high quality defense counsel, not to get bad parents off of, but so that parents like Crystal Sorey, which is the girl Harmony Montgomery's mom, to get her and her kid to be safe. Like basically, like it needs to stop. Like instead of being mandatory reporters, be mandatory supporters. Like and to get high quality defense counsel, like to help people, not to like rip them apart. Like he's right. Like that's what's going on. The system is broken as fuck. It's just yeah.
I hear there's a good lawyer out there in California.
Yeah, I do too.
Is it Mr. Davis?
I think that is.
That's the guy. I thought I remembered that name, you know.
You guys, Mr. Davis gets attacked a lot by crazy people, and I'm not joking about this. Even me. I remember last week, was it last week, you guys, or 2 weeks ago? No.
A couple weeks ago,
I had to do a special show because this lady was saying to me that if Davis doesn't take her case on pro bono, and she was in Colorado or something like that, take on her case pro bono, she's going to write a bad review saying that she hired us and we never did anything to help her. Like literally, she was threatening me, and thank goodness our calls are recorded, So it's kind of like you're literally threatening me. Do you know who I am? No one threatening me. I literally lost it. I said, your threats don't do anything to me. It doesn't. I've been through so much in life dealing with this CPS crap on day-to-day basis that there is nothing that shocks me. Nothing shocks me. You understand? The only thing that will shock me is if a social worker actually did the right thing in life. The only thing that will shock me if a judge actually did the right thing about the parents, that will shock me. But for her to say something like that, I actually had to do a special show about that. Only because Mr. Davis doesn't deserve that. He doesn't. And I asked her, I said, do you work for free? She said, no. I said, then why do you expect us to work
right?
for
Why would you expect Mr. Davis to do the same? I mean,
There you go.
Yeah, he doesn't.
That's crazy.
Law school isn't free.
No, it's not.
There's
a lot of attorneys that are still paying for their law school.
Yeah, I'm sure it rivals right up there with being a doctor, right? That's
right.
I gotta
it's
go.
Not right. Huh? What? Oh,
She's
you
down.
have to go to work. Okay, so it's just you and me, Darren. I think
Here we are.
Yeah. Where's your wife?
She's around the corner right here. I just saw her. She just walked up here.
I wish you would just like peek and say hi.
Honey, will you peek in here real quick?
I just want to say hi.
There, she's come around the corner.
Hi. Sorry, I was just talking to our pumpkin.
Hi, baby girl. How are you?
Good. How are you? Sorry, I'm like
I'm
trying to.
good.
He's in an awkward situation.
Here.
He's in an awkward situation.
I know he's like in the corner. I'm like, hi, let me try to squeeze in. Hello.
Is it cold over there right now?
It's freezing.
Yeah, it's me, Georgia. Here, you sit for a second.
Because your husband is sitting down, like with his arms showing, like it's really hot over there.
I know. I
got mad in that one segment.
I know. I was outside talking to our daughter. So, it's freezing out here. It's like 33 degrees, I think.
Oh my God.
I know.
Over here is like 80 degrees.
Oh.
I wish it was 32 degrees.
No.
Oh my gosh. I wish it was 80 something. And we just had a really bad windstorm, and we have an RV. And somehow the wind like ripped off part of the siding of the RV. So I'm like up on top of the RV talking to my daughter. I'm like, she's like, Mommy, you sound kind of winded. I'm like, he's gonna be so proud of me. I'm multitasking here. I'm trying to hear him out the window too, because I opened the window so he could get some fresh air and I could kind of hear you guys.
Oh my God, no, I actually like the cold weather, but I just wanted to say hi to you.
Hi.
Darren, where is he?
I'm gonna wear a suit at tonight's show.
Are you gonna be on the Tonight Show?
Yeah, I'm gonna wear a suit though.
What? Your husband in a suit? Is he pulling my leg right now?
No. I got him 3 very nice suits this past week.
Wow.
You look very handsome.
Hey, Darren, I'm still gonna be in my jean jacket. Okay.
I know. Like, I need to go take a shower.
I'm over the suit business. I can't do it anymore. I'm over that.
She's like, I'm in business cash.
So everybody that's watching, they get to see me in a suit tonight.
There you go.
So nice to see you. I'm gonna
get you too.
Love you. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Bye, baby.
So yeah, Mrs. G, we got to come back. We'll be back at what time? What time are we coming up? We have a different show tonight, right?
Yeah, we're doing the show tonight, and we're gonna have a.
But don't you call that? This is the one about the families, right? Is this your family show?
Yeah, the Relatives Fight CPS show. It's gonna be at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tonight.
That's gonna be good. You guys, do you have anybody coming on? To specially talk?
Yeah, interesting guests coming on tonight. That's right.
Oh, that's good. That's
okay.
Good. We'll check it out.
Thank you, sir. And I will see you tonight. And thank you again for doing the show with me, Darren. You're awesome.
And all these people that are watching are great. And we're going to, that's the way we got to keep them on. Keep this. That's how we make the unity.
Yes, we have to be united, you guys. Women, men, all of us together. We need to be united.
I'll try to get some of the family rights thing people on for tonight too, to make sure they're watching. And then they can chime in. We'll get them on here too. And
yes,
we're gonna make this movement. We're gonna make this movement count.
Yes, exactly. All right, Darren. I'll talk to you later, my love.
I'll see you tonight.
All right.
Bye-bye.